Hey, guess what? We're alone. So guess what we're going to do? We're going to fix supper for Paula Dean and all them folks at Kraft Foods and Philadelphia Cream Cheese. It's main dish week. I'm Lorena Donaldson, and I'm from London, Kentucky. And let me tell you about my main dish. It's going to be in two parts, so hopefully this will be okay. We're going to make a potato soup, and then we're going to have a sandwich. So I'm going to put together the soup, excuse me, and let it get moving, and then I'll show you the second half of what we're doing. And in this first part on the soup, we're going to use 5 medium potatoes that have been peeled, 5 cups of water. We're going to use 1 can of evaporated milk, 2 ribs of celery. We're going to chop them up and drop that in there. And almost forgot my flour. 3 tablespoons of flour. First thing I do is turn on my stove, get it going to about medium heat. I'm going to dump that in there and get my cream here, or evaporated milk. And I want to work all of the lumps out of that so we don't have anything lumpy, and then we'll add the rest of it, and that works pretty well. As far as putting spice and flavor in this, we're going to use one of my secret recipe ingredients, and that's going to be right here, and that is the Philadelphia cream cheese whipped garlic and herb. That gives this dish the best flavor ever was. We're just going to work that really well, get all the lumps out. We're going to add this after we get everything in there. Excuse me, I got a tickle in my throat, or a frog they say. And we're just going to squish that around really good, get it moving. Alright, got that done. We're going to take our potatoes and our water, gently pour that in there so we don't have a big splash. Set that aside. What I use for spice is basically salt and pepper, parsley to taste. We're just going to dump that in there. Some people like a little bit more pepper and a little bit more salt, and I'd say about a half a teaspoon of each. This is another thing I like to use, and this is the Weber's Grill Seasoning. This is really flavorful. This is the Cajun Spice, New Orleans Cajun. Very, very good. Gives it just a little kick. I usually use about a teaspoon or so. Get that in there. Grab my spoon, get that mixed up, let that start working. Okay. And then we're going to cut up our celery. And then we'll have all that going, and we can concentrate on the second half of our main dish. And we have those done. They're all like that. And I tell you what, since I am going to walk this across my kitchen floor, I'm going to pick this up, my little cutting plastic, and I'm just going to dump that in there just like that. Give it one good stir, and it's just going to cook on its own. We'll check it. I almost forgot my favorite ingredient here, the Philadelphia cream cheese whipped garlic and herb. And I've already used 1/2 of this practicing, so we're going to have a lot of soup tonight, girls. There we go. And that will break down and melt as this heats up and starts to cook. Okay, now that we got our soup going, now we're going to work on the real reason we're here. And this is a sandwich that I have developed that is what I call the Italian cream cheese sandwich. And it is really delicious. All you really need for this is 1 8-ounce package of Philadelphia brand cream cheese, 1 tomato, and I core it out and then just chop it up. 1/4 cup of Italian dressing, and I usually use the Robusto, and some chives, and that's basically all you need. I like to mix this up first so it gets good and creamed, and then I'll add the chives. You can put this in the microwave if you're in a hurry, or just let it sit out and just go to room temperature if you have the time. So it all depends on the day and where everybody's going before I do that. So I'm just going to mix that up really well, real fast. There we go. Okay, and then my chives. And you just chop these. If you like them fine, you can do them a little bit finer. We like it just a little bit there, about 1/4 of an inch, I'd say. Just drop them in there. There's one that I missed. Just drop them in like that. Okay, and just mix that up really well. And we're going to use pumpernickel bread and some spinach, chopped spinach. This is really a good sandwich. It's so fast and easy, and everybody loves this. I've made these and taken them to work, and just people are like, "Oh my gosh, what is that? It's so good." And I want to tell them what it is, but I don't want to tell them what it is because I don't want everybody to know my secrets. Now, if you don't like the tomato seeds and the juice in that, you can just drop that out like so. And just chop these up real fine or chunky, whichever you prefer. That's one thing good about this dish, is any way you like it. And then we'll get it all pretty and plated up for you. Our soup's been working, and it's doing real well over there. I've been jumping over there occasionally and checking on it. And there we go. Maybe one more piece. This was a big tomato. I like to use the smaller ones. Okay. This is such a delicious recipe. I think if you try this, you're going to like it. Okay. There we go. See how pretty that is? Really, really good. The Italian dressing just brings this out. It's just wonderful. You really don't have to salt it if you don't want, because there's plenty of flavor in that dressing. I think our soup is doing really well. Yeah. Looks good. I'm going to cut that off and just let it cool down. So when we're ready to plate it up, and we're going to take some pre-washed spinach. We can get the bag open. And what I do is just grab me a handful of that. And I like to pick off the stems a little bit because nobody really likes all them stems in there. And let's see. There we go. That looks okay. Just grab that knife and just run it through there. You just kind of want to chop it up a little bit. The good thing about this sandwich, it's kind of a variation of whatever you'd like to use. Use your imagination. Okay. And I'll just make us up a sandwich here real fast. Grab some good pumpernickel bread and get it opened and fixed up for us real fast. This is one of my husband's grandmother's vintage plates. Okay, and what we're going to do is, let me get a knife here. And the best way to do this is put a little bit or a good bit on each side, like so. Okay. And we're going to lay that down. We're going to take some spinach and put on there just like that. Take this other half, put some on there, because that way it'll hold together better. And your green will be in the middle. And it's so good. This is so good. You've got to try it. Okay. Let me just get us a bowl of soup and get this fixed up, and we'll be right back, and I'll show you how pretty it is. Okay, we've got our sandwich ready, our plate ready. All we got to do is get some of that soup, and we are ready to go, and we'll have our main dish done. And we're just going to garnish that with a little bit of dried parsley. And bam, I always wanted to do that. Alright, enjoy. And this is one of the wonderful things you can do with Philadelphia brand cream cheese. Enjoy. I hope you try my recipe. Thank you.